Arlington National Cemetery stands as a solemn testament to American sacrifice. It is a place of quiet reflection, where the weight of history and the memory of heroes intertwine. Former President Donald Trump's recent visit to Arlington, however, ignited a firestorm of controversy, casting a shadow over the hallowed grounds. What began as a planned tribute to fallen soldiers quickly devolved into accusations of disrespect, disregard for regulations, and the exploitation of sacred space for political gain. At the heart of the controversy lies a campaign-style video filmed at the cemetery. The video, featuring Trump at the gravesite of Master Sgt. Andrew Marckesano, a decorated Green Beret who tragically took his own life after battling PTSD, has drawn sharp criticism. The Marckesano family, still grappling with the profound loss of their loved one, expressed outrage, claiming they had not granted permission for their son's gravesite to be used in such a manner. Adding fuel to the already raging fire, reports surfaced of a heated altercation between members of Trump's entourage and a cemetery employee. The employee, tasked with upholding the sanctity and regulations of Arlington, was allegedly pushed aside while attempting to enforce rules prohibiting political activities within the cemetery gates. This incident, witnessed by several onlookers, further tarnished the visit and raised serious questions about the conduct of those accompanying the former president. The controversy surrounding Trump's Arlington visit extends far beyond a single video or an isolated altercation. It has ignited a national conversation about the sanctity of military cemeteries, the boundaries between politics and remembrance, and the fundamental respect owed to those who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their country. The Marckesano family, still reeling from the devastating loss of their son, found themselves thrust into the center of a political maelstrom. The unauthorized use of Master Sgt. Andrew Marckesano's gravesite in Trump's campaign video compounded their grief with a sense of profound disrespect. For this family, still navigating the raw and painful process of mourning, the incident felt like a betrayal of their son's memory and a violation of their privacy. In a statement released to the media, the Marckesano family expressed their anguish and anger, stating that they had never given permission for their son's gravesite to be used for political purposes. They emphasized that Andrew's service and sacrifice should not be exploited for any political agenda, particularly without their consent. The family's plea for privacy and respect resonated deeply with many Americans, who saw the incident as a callous disregard for the sanctity of their grief. The unauthorized filming at Marckesano's gravesite struck a nerve, highlighting the delicate balance between honoring fallen heroes and respecting the wishes of their families. It underscored the need for clear guidelines and protocols regarding the use of images and footage taken at military cemeteries, particularly when it comes to sensitive matters involving grieving families. The reported altercation between members of Trump's team and an Arlington National Cemetery employee further escalated the controversy, adding another layer of outrage to an already volatile situation. The incident, allegedly stemming from the employee's attempt to enforce regulations against political activities within the cemetery, raised serious concerns about the conduct of those accompanying the former president. Eyewitness accounts suggest that the employee, while carrying out his duty to uphold the sanctity and regulations of Arlington, was treated with disrespect and disregard. This alleged disregard for the cemetery's rules and the authority of its staff further fueled accusations that Trump and his entourage were prioritizing their own agenda over the solemnity of the occasion and the respect owed to those laid to rest there. The confrontation, occurring within the hallowed grounds of Arlington, struck a discordant note, clashing with the atmosphere of reverence and reflection that should permeate such a solemn place. It served as a stark reminder that even in death, the sacrifices made by American service members are not immune from the intrusions of political maneuvering and personal ambition. The controversy surrounding Trump's Arlington visit has reignited a long-standing debate about the appropriate boundaries between politics and military cemeteries. At the heart of this debate lies the fundamental question of whether these sacred grounds should be considered neutral spaces for remembrance, or if they are inherently intertwined with political discourse. Those who advocate for a strict separation between politics and military cemeteries argue that these hallowed grounds should remain sanctuaries for mourning, reflection, and honoring the sacrifices made by those who served. They believe that introducing political agendas into these spaces disrespects the memory of the fallen and undermines the solemnity of their final resting place. On the other hand, some contend that it is impossible to entirely divorce politics from discussions about the military, war, and sacrifice. They argue that acknowledging the political context surrounding military service does not diminish the sacrifices made, but rather provides a more complete understanding of the complexities of war and its human cost. However, finding the appropriate balance between honoring the sacrifices of fallen heroes and engaging in necessary political discourse remains a challenge. The controversy surrounding Trump's Arlington visit ignited a national conversation about the sanctity of military cemeteries and the importance of preserving their solemn atmosphere. This debate extends far beyond the actions of a single individual or political party. It delves into the core of how Americans choose to remember and honor those who have given their lives in service to their country. For many, Arlington National Cemetery represents the very soul of American sacrifice. It is a place where the weight of history and the sacrifices of generations past are palpable. The sight of row upon row of pristine white headstones, each marking a life given in service to the nation, evokes a profound sense of gratitude, respect, and solemn remembrance. The incident at Arlington served as a stark reminder that the sanctity of these spaces should never be taken for granted. It underscored the need for ongoing vigilance in protecting these grounds from exploitation, disrespect, and the intrusion of partisan politics. The debate sparked by Trump's visit highlighted the importance of engaging in respectful dialogue about how to best honor the sacrifices made by American service members while preserving the sanctity of their final resting place. The controversy surrounding Trump's visit to Arlington National Cemetery serves as a potent reminder of the profound respect and reverence owed to those who rest within its hallowed grounds. It underscores the importance of approaching such sacred spaces with a deep sense of solemnity, recognizing that they are not merely tourist destinations or backdrops for political posturing, but rather hallowed grounds consecrated by the sacrifices of American heroes. Maintaining the sanctity of military cemeteries requires a collective commitment to upholding the highest standards of respect and decorum. It demands that we approach these spaces with humility, recognizing that we are walking on sacred ground, surrounded by the legacies of those who gave their all in service to their country. It necessitates a conscious effort to silence the noise of partisan politics and personal agendas, allowing the solemnity of the space and the sacrifices it represents to take center stage. Ultimately, honoring the sacrifices made by American service members requires more than grand gestures or symbolic acts. It demands a sustained commitment to remembering their service, upholding the values they fought to defend, and ensuring that their sacrifices are never forgotten or exploited for political gain. The memory of their service deserves nothing less.